Geelong interchange. Start of the match before a big crowd at Football Park. What should be a most entertaining game. Pittman won the first tap. Riccardi has been in splendid form. To Simpson. A high kick to centre wing. Jamieson and Colbert. A bit of a wrestle. Pickering, Jamieson, Colbert over the top. Free kick to Jamieson at centre wing. Been in sparkling form early. Gets it to Liptak. Liptak, who's been playing as a checker, goes to centre half forward. Nice take there by McLeod. Just worked his way to the front on Mansfield. McLeod. Wobbly old kick. Caven's handball. Barnes fists it away. Riccardi got the handball in. Back to Graham. Back to Barnes. Good handball that one to Hocking. Hocking at centre half back away.
And Gary Hocking was looking for the hand pass, then was about to kick and tried the hand pass to Scholl, but away from the football to the left. The free kick has been awarded to McLeod. Quite see that was 4. No one on the mark, so, well, now the umpire is just giving an idea of where the kick will be taken from. And maybe the free kick from behind the play has to be taken as to where the ball was.
We can't work that out. McLeod has moved almost 30 or 40 metres to another position to take the free kick. I would have thought it was the nearest Crows player should have taken the free kick, and I'm still not sure what the free kick is for. I can say that.
Yes, a bit of a query there for that decision, but it's McLeod. He's shot for goal. He kicks into the man on the mark. Just ran a little too close. Gatherers by Gary Hocking. Able to hand pass, puts Barnes under a little bit of pressure. Look away handball to Gary Hocking. In turn, Pickering tackled, didn't have the football, and Pickering will take the free kick. The Crows supporter's not too happy, but it looked pretty straightforward. Barnes misses the mark, and in the preliminaries, it was mentioned, I think, by Neil Curley that John Barnes just a little off his game, but missing that one was a bit disappointing. Very fine night. But excellent conditions for a game of football. Only the wind is a concern. Ben Hart gets it onto his right foot. Chance for McKinnon. His kick pretty well smothered. Liptak provides the contest. Bickley gets the free kick, and it's against Brewer.
Just a bit high there, Brewer. Bickley's kick to centre half forward. Front spot was Hall, McGrath, Andrew Jarman, Caven. Quick kick away by Hall. And a free kick coming back to McGrath at centre half back. Looked like he got a high one. McGrath comes wide. Riccardi, the target, gets him at half back. It's been in brilliant form, Riccardi. In goal kicking form too. That's neat and long. Gets towards Mensch. Off the ground. Clever. Overrun by Edwards. Chance here for Brown. Looks good. It's got it.
And let's kick the goal.
Named on the interchange bench was Paul Brown, but appearing on the ground at the start of the game. 1 goal. Geelong. Adelaide yet to score. Barnes gets his right hand to it, but it's gathered again by Bickley. Gets it back now to Bond. Bond off his right foot, kicks towards right half forward for the Crows. Leading in the race is McGuinness. He gathers it nicely. The little kick inside 50, probably meant for Wren, but it was a bit awkward. Rashudo tackled by McKinnon. Now McLeod. He's close to the line. You can see there Rashudo. His hand pass smothered by McGrath. Great defensive work by the Geelong half-backs. Still there for the Crows. McLeod again. McGuinness caught. Gets the hand pass away. Robert across his left shoulder to the goal front. Or nearly taken by Liptak. Desperate stuff by the Geelong defence. Andrew Jarman appealing for the free kick, but nothing happening. And Grant Tanner giving a bit of encouragement there by his teammate, because that was desperate stuff. The Crows attack there looked quite promising. There are quite a lot of Geelong fans come over here for this game to watch their side contend with the Crows on their home ground. Ben Graham's little kick. Scholl for Geelong, high in the air.
Light rain falling at Footy Park. Riccardi kept his eye on it. Pittman. McGuinness trying to weave his way through. Gets a high tackle free kick at 50. He's come back strongly, McGuinness, after his serious knee injury last year, the captain. The best and fairest both at Footscray and Adelaide. in his AFL career. Can kick a long ball, but into the breeze. Unlikely to make it from here, though he's timed it pretty well. Pittman, Wren both had a fly. Graham had a fist. Caven tucked away in the pocket. Centering kick. A lot of Geelong players there. Graham, maybe Hall should have had Graham left it. Hall would have taken it, I'm sure, but they've forced it through from behind as this rain continues. And the Crows' first score. Rushed, they're a point. Geelong with Brown's goal. They lead by 5 points. This rain getting a bit heavier.
Well, the weather forecast wasn't too bad early on, but disappointing result for the rain to start falling. Ben Graham to kick in, decides to go straight down the ground, kicks it nearly to the middle, but it's a Crows mark taken by Darren Jarman. Goes across the ground, finds Costa. Costa's kick is a wide one, but McLeod's got a bit of room. He may not be able to take it too easy. He's able to get past, then gives the hand pass. Wren, simple shot for goal by Sean Wren's a goal for the Crows.
Wren's goal. Pittman wins it again. Couch tried to cut it off. Bond was there. Well played by Brewer against Pittman, but now Pittman and also McKinnon, and it's going to be another bounce in the centre. Bickley and Hocking together. It's going to be a feisty duel. Good kick by Darren Jarman. Tanner and Andrew Jarman. Tanner onto the left boot, gets it pretty long. Minch. A free kick to the Crows, holding on to Smart. And half back. Goes wide. Bickley goes short. Pittman close to the line at centre wing. Almost a full house now. Be about 45,000 people here. Two teams who are in the top 4 in the early stages of the season. Robert at the back did a good job because Barnes was in the box seat. Going to ground was Pickering. Out to Scholl, back to McKinnon. McKinnon onto that left, looks for Couch, has a second go, takes it, not paid. Will be disappointed. Hocking. And the free kick coming to Geelong. And it's going to go to Couch at centre wing.
Could have been nearly paid as a mark.
Goes to Hocking. Hocking into the centre. Looks and finds Barnes.
Barnes for Geelong. He's on the defensive side of the centre circle. Gets the hand pass to Mansfield. Backs himself and gets past Andrew Jarman. In turn down the ground. Simpson has been awarded a free kick. Perhaps didn't quite have control of the football. Gary Hocking goes to Mansfield. Mansfield can bomb away. Hooks the kick into the pocket. Stoneham couldn't take the mark. Out comes Chalmers, doesn't knock it far enough clear. Brown gets it back. Tanner's deliberate shot at goal is off to the right and through for a behind. So scores are level, 1-1 apiece. And already mentioned of the sizable crowd. We rarely come to a game here at Football Park where there's not a big crowd. Very keen football fans here in South Australia. The kick in, punched away by Barnes. Opportunity for Riccardi, pushed off the football by Costa. Costa, tackled by Colbert. Gary Hocking gets the crumbs. Handball wide to Brown, went to go on the right, then hand pass back to Riccardi. In turn, goes to Pickering. Pickering's kick is pretty good. That's a goal, I'd suggest. Great kick by Liam Pickering.
To Hocking out of the centre. 2-1 to 1-1. Hocking had a free kick out of the centre. Geelong well inside 50. Barry Stoneham. He might have just missed. He has. So Stoneham with the behind. What a great goal by Pickering a moment ago. Cats up to 2-2 to 1-1. So Geelong hasn't been in attack too often, but they've made an impact on the scoreboard. What a free-flowing side they are. Chalmers, just a wobbly one to half-back. McKinnon, good stretch, nice mark. He's a long kick. He's got Hocking short, decides against it, decides to go long and hooks it badly and misses everything out of bounds on the fall.
Gee, if he'd have kicked it straight, got the distance easily, didn't it? So it gives you a good indication of as to which end is being favoured by the breeze. Certainly the one to which Geelong are going to. The light rain falling again, And that kick holding up in the breeze. It still gets outside 50 metres. Bash back towards that line. Pickering taken to the ground. Lip tack. Tries to get it towards Jamieson. Running it over is Lee Colbert. And a boundary throw-in will take place 50 metres from the Geelong goal. Cats would probably need to be about 4 goals in front, you would think. That breeze is blowing quite strongly down to the right-hand end. The Crows get the ball back near the wing. Caven, fairly well tackled by Hall. The umpire sees it that way and requests for a throw-in. It's between wing and right half forward favouring the Cats. They lead. They're 2-2 to 1-1. Geelong by 7 points.
And it's raining. The old Cats and Dogs at the moment really coming down heavily. Pickering, well played inside. Attack by Brewer. Riccardi off the ground, doesn't go far. Smart wants the boundary line, gets it. Out of play, right forward pocket. Peter Riccardi. Six goals in his 2 games this season. Played a fair bit of footy, the 23-year-old. He's well into the 80s in terms of games played. Minch, Colbert at the back. Fist away by Chalmers. Pittman tried to get it to Jamieson. Costa attacked it, missed it. Second go there by Jamieson. Barnes in the direction of Brewer. First tackle looked high by Smart and is going to be paid. He was ducking down. It was always going to be difficult for Smart to put on a legal tackle. And this guy's a good kick for goal. 40 goals last season, Brewer. An excellent foil for Brownless and more particularly Ablett. Made a meal of that back to Colbert, and Colbert sprays it out in the full. So a couple of wasted chances up. They've made the most of them early.
You wonder sometimes why a guy would run so close to the man on the mark when he's that close to goal, and he's going to get the distance easily with the breeze lead.
He may well have been conned by the man on the mark. He might have just misjudged where he was positioning right.
Okay, the kick in. Misjudged by Barnes. I think he thought it was going to cover the Adelaide Crows player and he was going to take a safe chest mark, but not so. Boundary throw in, right half forward for Geelong. And Minch up against Pittman. Pittman gets his right fist to it. Ben Hart dragged off the football. Opportunity for lip tap. Little kick has been taken by Colbert. Is play on the ball? No. It's a free kick to Adelaide. And it'll be taken by Mark Bickley. So a little bit of interference away from the player who had control of the football. It's not Bickley, actually. It's going to be Costa that'll take it. And he's at left half back for Adelaide. He gets reasonable distance, although the kick in the finish holds up in the breeze. Barnes again misjudges it. It's opportunity for Bond. He's tackled it a little high. Is the advantage? No. Bond's still in trouble. But quickly attended to by a trainer as we have a look at the replay. And certainly the tackle too high by Mansfield. So Bickley has the football. Bond is the recipient of the free kick, but the umpire surely will have to get this moving. And Bickley will take it. Bond maybe going off the ground. No. Bickley's kick towards the 50-metre line for Adelaide. Knocked away by Hall. Chance for Caven, gets a lovely little hand pass to Ben Hart. Ben Hart to the goal front. The race is on here between Robran and McGrath. Robran gets rid of McGrath. Handball, Andrew Jarman. Goal Crows. Andrew Jarman kicks his first goal for the evening, but Geelong still lead 2-2 to 2-1.
Extremely good start to the game by the Crows. Halfway through the first quarter, strong wind Geelong's direction, and they're basically level on the scoreboard. They're playing Robran and Wren as deep in the forward line of the Crows, and virtually in a way Andrew Jarman's up across as a type of centre half forward.
Geelong by a point after Jarman's spectacular effort. Hocking, good handball. McKinnon doesn't time it at all. Second poor kick by McKinnon going into attack. Smart with a bit of time to set something up here. Touches it once. Was going to go inside to Jamieson, then runs a long way. Forced to hurry the kick. Good mark by Caven at centre wing. Quickly on to left tack. The bounce didn't come back for him. Ground just softening up a bit with the rain. Poor kick. Mansfield chops it off to Couch. Couch normally so accurate. Goes to centre wing. Minch Very good spoil by Smart. Jeminson's handball accurate to Ben Hart. Ben Hart back to centre wing. Wren with a big height advantage over Mansfield takes the mark. Held up by Mansfield. He's got Bickley all on his own in the centre now. Closed off by Hocking. Takes his time, Wren, then just pushes it out wide to Caven. Caven well placed for a left footer. Goes for distance. Keeps it low. Pittman big stretch. Takes it. Good mark. Well within kicking distance, even into the breeze.
Caven doing well. On the forward line has had 5 possessions.
Gary Ayres, the Geelong coach. It's a good kick too, wasn't it? Into the breeze. Was able to punch it.
A smart ruck play by Pittman. He pushed forward. I don't think the change has been made. Maybe Wren has just come onto the ball and Pittman's gone forward. Or maybe he basically just read the play and got in there. But has taken a good strong mark.
About 25, 30 metres out. No angle to speak of. Seems to have kicked it well. He's got it. And this is a very good start for Adelaide. Into the breeze. They now lead Geelong 3-1 to 2-2.
Some interesting matchups going on in the midfield. The main tagger for the Crows, lip tag, has been positioned on Couch. So obviously the Crows have felt that Couch is the most dangerous on-baller for Geelong. And Sean Simpson is trying to pick up Darren Jarman.
So a good goal kicked by Pittman for Adelaide. Wren is into the ruck. Riccardi tries to push the ball in front of himself, but it's chopped off by Risciuto. Left foot kick to full forward. Mark again to Pittman. Only 25 metres out directly in front. And some pretty ordinary signs there for Geelong. Crows getting clear of the centre a little too easily.
Just read the ball much better, Pittman, than did Graham. He got the front position with that height, and the ball dropping a little short. Graham had no chance to spoil it.
So Pittman for his second goal within 2 minutes. 7 minutes left in the first quarter as Pittman kicks for goal. It's pretty close. The goal umpire's close to the line. He has just missed. Chris McDermott. Not too much concern on his face, but there is on the Geelong coach's face. Adelaide lead by 6 points. They're 3-2. Geelong are 2-2. Goals for Adelaide from Andrew Jarman, Pittman and Sean Wren. For Geelong, Liam Pickering and Paul Brown.
One kick by Graham, but again a Crows player. Caven, been prominent. Risciuto. Wider to Darren Jarman. One bounce. Great kick to the goal square. That's a goal. Well, they're getting a bit of distance into the breeze. 4-2 to 2-2. He's kicked out from 50. Bouncing through.
Again, Bruce, it's basically a direct result of the kickoff being kicked or straight to a Crows play. I mean, it's one thing to kick the ball long, but it's no use kicking it long straight to the opposition, even if you're maybe 70 metres from goal, because Jarman, a good long kick, and it's bounced through. So Graham's going to have to improve his percentages from those kick-ins.
A magnificent kick by Darren Jarman for Adelaide's 4th goal. They lead by 12 points. A high kick has been marked by Costa. Under 7 minutes left. Risciuto's hand pass will find Bickley. Bickley's in the middle of the ground. Little pass. It's going to be chopped off by Geelong. McGrath runs on. Pittman the tackler. Gary Hocking gets it wide. Mansfield in strife. Gets the hand pass. Riccardi in strife. Free kick, Riccardi. Surely. Gee, the first one was a free kick, wasn't it? Yes, he has paid it. Against Costa. Riccardi plays on quickly and finds Gary Hocking. Gary Hocking, he's having his 8th possession coming up. Short kick is all right. And the mark is taken by Simpson. Simpson for Geelong. He was named on the interchange bench, started on the ground. The kick towards full forward. The ball spills to the front. Brewer, tackled by Chalmers. Gatherers by Stoneham. Looks to play on. Doesn't quite shrug the tackle. Chipping in Brewer. Can't get past, then gets the hand pass. McKinnon. Lovely long kick by McKinnon. He's made up for those 2 bodges earlier, Bruce. That's a great goal.
Anderson on for Geelong. Goal the difference. Free flowing now. 4-3. Jarman brothers prominent for Adelaide in their goal scoring and their big men, Wren and also Pittman. That's Darren Jarman getting it from Bond. Kick to centre half forward. Andrew Jarman had a fair bit of it. He'll be disappointed he didn't take the mark with Shuto. Left foot off the side a bit. Graham and Pittman Graham on his chest takes the mark. He's just missed the mark a couple of times, Graham, with his long kicks. That one's better than Barnes. At half-back, Sanderson had to wait a moment. Inside to Riccardi. Riccardi goes short, gets to Brewer. Centre wing, good build-up for the Cats. Not a good handle there by Brewer. McGuinness chops it off. Caven again, another touch. And 50 metres against Sanderson for running over the mark. Will bring Caven right up to within about 25 metres of the goal.
He's taken 4 marks, and this will be his 6th possession.
Kicked 4 goals in the opening game of the season and 1 last year, so he's been a bonus for them. In fact, they've got great value out of their pre-season picks. Darren Jarman, Caven, Costa and Bond all out there tonight, and so Shane Ellen, who they picked up in February. So they'll be pleased with how they've recruited. Caven, little hook, straightens up, goal. So the signs are good, Lee. The Jarman brothers to the fore, Wren getting a goal, Caven a goal, and I guess Pittman a bonus goal.
That's true, but I would have thought 3 of the Crows' goals have come from defensive errors by Geelong. I mean, a 50-metre penalty that took Caven from probably 80 metres out to 30 metre out, and a couple of bad kick-ins.
So the play restarted, and the Crows get the ball forward again. Andrew Jarman, lovely little hand pass. Rashudo, now McGuinness, off his left foot, does it reasonably well, too, to the goal front. McGrath tackled by McLeod. Did the football in front of the Crows' goal. Pittman throws his left foot at it. Not really an effective kick. McGrath leaves it behind. McLeod off the ground. Graham in the square. Kicks Geelong out of
2-4-2. Barnes and Wren. Hocking. Brewer. Back towards Hocking. Had to try and get onto the boot in a hurry. High tackle on Colbert. Free kick. Colbert at about 55, 60 metres. Stoneham's in the goal square, wanting it long. He goes short. Simpson. Now he's at 50. Breeze behind him. Late in the opening term. Brown provides a lead. Simpson's given a big push, and that's out of bounds on the forward. And the Cats have done that on 3 occasions in the opening term. McKinnon, Colbert and Simpson all to that pocket, the right forward pocket, missing the lot. Chalmers to bring it back in.
3 minutes left in the quarter. Brett Chalmers kicks it well outside 50 metres. Gary Hocking up high. Jamison now Bickley runs away from the half-back area in towards the centre of the ground, then kicks in towards centre half forward. A contest here between Rodron and McGrath. McGrath gets round onto his right foot. Then the short pass is effective, and Tanner has taken the chest mark. Gets the hand pass away to Scholl. Scholl goes down the wing. Colbert gathers. Missed by Smart, but picked up by Ben Hart. Gathers and then looks down the ground. Kicks to half forward. The mark is taken by Rodron. Looks very fit and very lively at centre half forward. The Crows work the ball towards full forward. Chance for Liptak. Off the ground goes Matthew Liptak. Close to the line. It will stay in. Scholl, the hand pass over the top. Pickering in stripe. Spins away from Liptak. Back onto his right. Then forced to kick with the left and finds Barnes. Very well done. Very skillfully done. Mansfield in towards the centre. The ball is taken here by Riccardi. He runs through the middle of the ground. Geelong can mount something here. Riccardi looks for the little hand pass. Not bad. Tanner back to Riccardi. Can't get past. Good smother provided. Now Rashudo has the rebound. And his kick towards half forward. No mark there. Rodron gathers again. Sweeping hand pass into the path of Caven. Perhaps a little slow. Knocked away in the finish by Sanderson. Close to the line. McGrath and Rodron take it over. Did one of the players get their boot to it? No. The boundary umpire will throw it in. And Robert Shaw down on the interchange bench. Very close to quarter time. And at this stage, Adelaide lead by a goal. They're 5-2 to Geelong 4-2.
Little give by Graham. Good to Mansfield on his non-preferred right foot. Gets good distance though. Ben Hart will get a second opportunity. He's got a couple of players out wide, and he goes to Rashudo to Liptak at about 60 metres. Kick to Jarman. Can't quite get it on the bounce. Tanner with him out of play, left forward pocket. Crows in attack. They're 5-2. Jarman with a goal.
Crows half back line right on top at the moment. David Mensch has been benched, and Lee Colbert has basically gone to centre half forward for Geelong.
Ronnie Burns now on the ground, Lee. Up forward for the Cats. Barnes. Scholl. He did a good job then.
Brilliant.
To Barnes. Not a bad kick, Barnes, in the circumstances. Lynch has come onto the ground. So Gary is using the interchange late in the opening term. Trying to get a goal or two. Handball by Ben Hart. Matthew Liptak. Tackled by Paul Lynch out of play. Centre wing. Just a little in Adelaide's favour. Liptak as a run-with-tag type player this season. Was an important play for the Crows in their big year when they made the finals. Simpson had a good comeback after having a serious leg injury. Probably time's going to beat both these teams before quarter time for another goal. Getting very close. Barnes. Going to ground, Jamison. And the siren sounds. Crows will be pretty pleased, I think, because it looks worth 15 metres on the kick, maybe 10-15 metres, and yet they're a goal in front, 5-2 to 4-2.
And a tactical victory to the Crows with Matthew Liptak picking up Paul Couch, and Paul Couch being interchanged late in the quarter. So ended up being a fairly even quarter in the end, but given the scoring end, well, it's obviously a very good quarter for the Crows for them to be in front against what is a fairly severe win.
So that's the situation at quarter time with Robert Shaw coming out to talk to his captain, Tony McGuinness. Colbert in the centre square for Geelong. It's 5-2 to 4-2. Barnes and Pittman. Bounce favouring Barnes. Tried to backhand it, didn't really work. Rashudo tries to break through. Liptak's handball okay to Jamison. Squares it up to full forward. McGrath against the flow. Shepherds for Graham. Didn't take it cleanly. McLeod clever. Left foot snap. Close. Might have got it. Great start. Adelaide with a goal in the opening minute. Sneak away to a 12-point lead. It's 6-2 to 4-2.
Now, that was a superb example of speed and clean ball handling under pressure, really. I mean, the ball just basically dribbled out in front of the Adelaide Crows goal scorer, but McLeod, as it was, just really touched the ball, immediately took possession, good left foot snap for goal. I mean, that was really a very classy goal.
And a little bit of verbalising by McLeod on Mansfield, his immediate opponent, as the ruckman go at it at the centre bounce. And a free kick is being awarded to Adelaide, and it'll be taken by Mark Bickley. He plays on very, very quickly. Gets it to Nigel Smart. Smart's kick is okay, and Rashudo is marked just forward of the wing. Short kick again. Smart's on his own. He's run a long way away. Kicks to the goal front. Good kick. Pittman up high. Couldn't take the mark. Liptak. It's roll of his hands and through for a rush behind as he desperately tried to throw his right foot at it. Unsuccessful on this occasion.
Very close call. He's probably missed it by about 6 inches, I would think, and a goal, but a behind instead.
Tanner getting it short from Graham, then wanting to go short. Rashudo trying to cut off Simpson. Can't do it, out of bounds. Right half forward flank, Crows attacking. I think Couch is still on the interchange for Geelong. Went off late in the opening term. So Gary Ayres just trying to get a different balance here. Pickering, a fine player over the last couple of seasons for Geelong, keeping it close to the boundary line out of play.
And Matthew Liptak now basically gone on to to Pickering. It's the Crows midfield have got this ascendancy early in the game, and that's really where the game's been decided.
Saw Couch there sitting between Minch and also Hall. Rodron, wide handball to Smart. Neat looking kick. Wren, big stretch, couldn't quite. Graham's handball to Scholl. Scholl out wide. Centre wing, Costa. got a very good bounce, made the most of it. His give to Ben Hart was good, then a little chip one to Troy Bond. Bond can deliver accurately to Jarman. Andrew on his chest. Nice mark in front of Tanner. Quickly goes on. No, he's been asked to come back. It's about 65 metres from goal. Caven in the goal square. Wren about 40 metres away makes the first lead. Jarman decides to go long at the back shoal. McGuinness back on his right foot. This will be close. It looks good. He's got it. They've kicked a couple of metres, haven't they? First McLaren and then McGuinness, so the signs are good. 7-3 to 4-2.
Well, it's really running hot for the Crows. The right foot snapped by Tony McGuinness, swirled around in the breeze, and I think the breeze has basically pushed it through. But nevertheless, through it goes, and Geelong have got to do a lot of hard work here to get this game back in some kind of equilibrium.
All single goal scorers for Adelaide, as is Geelong. Bickley showing desperation just to get it out of the reach of Lynch. Kick forward by Darren Jarman. A wobbly punt kick in towards the full forward area. Nearly taken by Scholl. McGrath well tackled. Robran desperate. Ball spills close. Now free kick. It will go to Scholl in that contest. And he kicks across the goal face that the Geelong boys are defending. Sanderson runs. One bounce. Nearly tackled by Robran. Gets his kick away. Out wide. Close to the line in front of Costa and Riccardi. Costa couldn't control it. The boundary umpire will throw it in between wing and left half forward, favouring the Crows. The Crows with the first 2 goals of this second quarter. Very important second quarter for Geelong if they're to still have some chance at half time. Pickering's hand pass gathered there by Bickley. Bickley in towards half forward, chopped off. Very, very well marked by Sanderson. Able to run away from half back, 2 bounces, then kicks towards half forward, just a little too high. Enabled the defender to come in and try and punch it away. Colbert not paid the mark. Chalmers underneath there somewhere tried to get the hand pass out. But it's held up by Brett Chalmers and Mark Rasciuto. Simpson and Jarman, Darren, having a bit of a dust up off the ball, but the umpire will bounce just wide of the centre circle. Barnes and Pittman. And a free kick. Looks as though it's going to Barnes. Gee, that was a bit technical. Very iffy. Big men do some big things, but that kick chopped off well by Allen, and Allen has taken the mark just wide of centre half back for the Crows.
Pittman the target at centre wing, finds his man. Jamieson was inside, but Pittman back for a kick to half forward. Caven and Sanderson. Barnes off Jarman's foot. Barnes' handball to Pickering. Good kick under pressure by Pickering. Had to bring it around, but taken by Jamieson. Committed to go now. Tackled by Mansfield. Holds him up. Mansfield in turn tackled by Bickley. And it's going to be a bounce about 80 metres from the Crows' goal. They need 45 to 26.
I thought what the new tackling rule was all about. Crows player had a 10-metre run with the ball, was tackled, it fell out of his hand. Should have been a free kick according to my interpretation of that rule.
Smart and Pittman against Barnes. And it looks like Jamieson trying to get through Darren Jarman. And again a bounce. So Adelaide going pretty well here. Geelong needing to hold them up and then counter-attack into the breeze. Liptak to Ben Hart. Hart to full forward. Very wide. Robran, as Robbo said, lively. McGrath overran it. Robran back to McGuinness. Caught with the shorts. Gets a handball in. McGrath will see it safely over the line. But in the wrong area for Geelong in defence.
Just what I like about Matthew Robran, he looks a lot fitter than he has over the last couple of years, and maybe it's his preparation that's been first class this year.
He's had a lot of injuries, hasn't he? And I guess lack of form and confidence. Sanderson getting a few touches now on Caven. Bickley attacks it very hard. Forces it forward. Wren tried to get through. Lynch held him up. McGrath goes towards the boundary line. Gets it again. And almost up to centre wing. So it's 7-3 to 4-2. Barry Stoneham, Adelaide with a couple of goals in the second.
Geelong have tried to push Stoneham up to half forward. They're really getting nothing out of that line. They've basically got Ronnie Burns one out in the forward 50 against the breeze. They do have to get Stoneham up into the play.
And another very iffy free kick in the ruck to to the advantage of Geelong. That could have nearly been a kick to Hocking, but not forthcoming. Bickley, hand pass, goes wide. Darren Jarman's stand and deliver kick towards full forward, nearly gathered by McGuinness. Gee, that would have been a good Rovers forward pocket goal, but being held up right in front of the Crows goal, and the umpire will bounce.
The second time in the game that Nigel Smart has laid a tackle that has stopped Geelong in its tracks. Tackling by the Crows has been very good to this point of the game.
7-3 to 4-2. So 19-point advantage now for Adelaide. Andrew Jarman off the ground, just wide. And a boundary throw-in will take place. Right forward pocket for Adelaide. No multiple goal scorers in the game as yet. And the big men to tackle it. Kicked away by Graham. Really get the distance that he was looking for. McKinnon gets the hand pass away. Simpson dragged away from the football. Well, I thought that was half all right, but maybe a play-on decision would have been the best in that situation. But Simpson has the free kick, and he's at centre-half back for Geelong.
No one much to kick to up forward, so he's going to go very wide. Barnes can sit and wait a bit and then deliver. Short. Brown. Been paid. To half forward. Stoneham. Front spot. Good, not paid, but maybe the advantage given then to Colbert as he was running through. He punches it long. Good kick and a great mark by Brewer. He was able to get distance in, Colbert. Clear Ben Hart, and Brewer taking a spectacular falling mark about 20 metres out from goal.
Yes, good. Just read the ball just that little bit better. The kick was strong enough to get over the head of the Crows player, who's doing the right thing and playing in front. But Brewer's got the shot.
From 20 metres out, directly in front, he's kicked the goal.
5-2. The Crows lead. Barn gets his right fist to it. Colbert squeezes a kick out towards centre-half forward. No one there for Geelong. Darren Jarman marks. Plays on quickly. Gets the hand pass to Bickley. Very productive around the middle of the ground. Dropped there by Smart. Kick off the ground by Rashudo. Goes wide out into the path of Allen. He's plenty of time to gather and then kicks in towards the left half forward area where Rashudo has run all the way down from half back and has marked closer to left half forward. He plays on now, kicks in towards full forward. It'll clear the players and bounce close to the line. It'll sit nicely in the finish for Scholl. Scholl, hand pass in towards the half back area where Tanner marks, plays on, one bounce and then kicks back towards the middle. Dropped by Stoneham, nearly taken by Bond and Burns, two exciting players in the caper. Darren Jarman's kick smothered off the boot. Wren held, didn't have the football. And much to the delight of the Adelaide Crows fans, Sean Wren takes the free kick and kicks it wide. Bickley covering plenty of territory. Bickley goes for goal. Great kick by Bickley. Crows get their 8th. Bickley's first goal. And the sign says it all, 8-3 to 5-2. Again, a 19-point advantage for Adelaide.
It's been a good duel between Bickley and Hocking in that midfield there. They both had a fair bit of the ball. But again, Bickley very smart, dropped into space. Hocking wasn't quick enough to react. And with that bruise, good, straight, accurate kick from just inside the 50-metre line.
Couch back on for the Cats. Lynch coming off 8-3, 5-2. Bickley with 10 kicks. So the Crows have got 8 individual goal scorers. And Geelong with 5. There's Couch. 2 best and fairest at the club. Brownlow medal. He's had a superb career. Barnes. Good leap over the back there of Wren. McKinnon. Holding the footy. Liptak to take it.
Similar decision over the other side of the ground I mentioned before, and no free kick was paid. Paying him's critical. Smart
from Liptak, long ball, Tanner in the box seat. Allen couldn't take the mark. May pay for this. Pittman to Caven, misses to behind.
Geelong have reacted well to this onslaught by pushing all their players up the field, and basically at the moment there's no one in their forward 50. Basically Shane Brewer is playing full, trying to crowd the midfield and reduce the space the Crows have got to work in with the wind.
Just under 11 minutes left in the second quarter. 20 points is the margin in favour of Adelaide. And Ben Graham goes long the direction of McKinnon, but it's punched back towards the back pocket region. Tanner close to the line. Ooh, did he try to keep that in? One wonders.
I'm really not sure what Ben Graham is trying to do on his kick-ins. He's trying to kick it long, but his kick is basically dropping on the heads of Crows players. He has to improve his direction.
Boundary throw in. Struggle. Pickering gets at the Couch. Little questionable. Couch's kick. Short. Stoneham. Bumped off the football by Chalmers. Darren Jarman. The ball spills in front of he and Barry Stoneham over for a boundary throw in. And Edwards is preparing to come onto the ground at the expense of McGuinness. So McGuinness off for a spell on the bench. The hit-outs, Geelong dominating them in this quarter. Good gather by Burns. That's a mark. He may look to play on. Gary Hocking making position. He goes in that direction. Gary Hocking at the back. Chance for that player. Brewer knocked away from it by Ben Hart. Colbert does well. Chalmers in there, knocked away by Smart. Back in the direction of Paul Brown. Handball. Gary Hocking. Oh, chopped off brilliantly. Anticipated there by Darren Jarman. Short kick to brother Andrew. Back to Darren. Misses the attempted collect there by the Geelong player. Kicked by Darren Jarman into the right forward pocket. The Geelong player on that occasion was Barnes. He's been spoken to by an umpire back away from the football. Darren Jarman brilliantly and skillfully getting past, but the kick lets him down in the finish. Boundary throw in right forward pocket for the Crows. 9.5 minutes left in the first half.
Barnes front spot, Couch, Graham, Andrew Jarman to tackle, and Geelong push it away by about 10 metres from the Adelaide goal. 11 kicks Darren Jarman. It's Barnesy who's been winning the hit out, so the stats told us a moment ago. Pittman at the back. Edwards has come on for McGuinness and again out of play.
Maybe winning the hit-outs a little bit, Barnes, but I think Pittman and Wren, that combination has just been getting a little bit of that, the more the ball around the ground, and that's normally one of John Barnes' strengths, the around-the-ground following work.
Barnes turned himself inside out, really gets it in the direction of Tanner on his left foot. Going to be down the ground against Bickley there. Wasn't a lot in it, but Stoneham to take it, centre wing. He's got a couple of players loose, goes in short, into Pickering. And Stoneham's outside if he wants him. Goes to half forward. Brown the target. He worked his way cleverly there because Costa in the front spot. Now Brown goes on towards the forward pocket. Target is McGrath. He's come right up from the centre half back and he takes a good mark. Within scoring distance. Is he bleeding or what's happening here? Oh, there's a free kick coming back, is it? I'm confused.
Oh, you and about 36 players and 46,000 fans and 1 million viewers.
No idea what this is.
No idea.
Well, the only thing we can suggest is it might have been touched off the boot, but no one seemed to know about it. So McGrath goes back. Brewer, Colbert, ridden into the ground, out of play, right forward pocket. There's Brewer and Nigel Smart. Lee Colbert's had a few touches. 5 kicks and a couple of handballs. Adelaide 8-4 to 5-2. Sorry we can't fool you in on that one, but that's the only thing we can suggest. And even that doesn't make a lot of sense. Colbert's high ball, almost to the 10-metre square. Oh, that's a good mark, Costa. It was just floating, hanging, and he made the move. And it took the mark. Give off is okay to Ben Hart. Ben Hart to Shane Ellen, drops a sitter, then falls over and puts Jefferson under pressure. Bit of a mistake here. Handball out to Brown was clever. That coming from Pickering inside to Riccardi, who's had a quiet second quarter. Had 7 touches in the opening turn. Just squares it off to Hocking. Nothing gained much though. Having real trouble, Geelong penetrating here into the breeze. And again, just a square off to Sanderson. They're further away from goal. And he goes wide and indirect, just hoping Burns can take it. Can't. He's still outside 50, Burns. Cleverly punches it low, bouncing ball. Stoneham getting rid of Chalmers. and Lee. Didn't that take a long time to get through from behind?
Well, I think it's better tactics in some way by Geelong. They run forward so hard and so quickly that on the rebound, against the wind as they are, Crows are getting them on the rebound a little bit. I think they've got to be a bit careful of not pushing forward too quickly, as is their normal custom.
Big long kick by Chalmers. Eventually it's got past the centre of the ground. Kick off the ground by Matthew Robran. Really like the look of him. Another kick by that player. And with perhaps one deliberate kick from fullback and a couple of attempts by Robran, and it's on the right half forward area for Adelaide.
What I mentioned is against the wind, you have to basically hold possession and hold the game up a little bit, because they're going to kick the ball 20 metres back over your head, and that's basically what has been happening early in this quarter.
Wren, Jamison, Liptak, Bickley, and McLeod. Geelong never touched the ball from the boundary throw-in. McLeod has kicked a goal. The combination between the players for Adelaide at right half forward was first class, and it finishes with Andrew McLeod. He'll kick from only 25 metres out directly in front. And really, he should become the first multiple goal scorer of the evening. He lopes in, kicks straight over the goal umpire's head. It's a Crows goal. Second goal to McLeod. He gets some pats of acclamation. Adelaide 9-4 lead, Geelong 5-3.
This has been a good positioning for the Crows. McLeod against Michael Mansfield, who I think is quite possibly the best of the medium-sized halfbacks in the competition. And McLeod's got a couple of goals, got a few key possessions on him, and Mansfield's trying to use his experience on the younger player. McLeod will have to keep his composure.
9-4, 5-3, so the Crows stretching their lead out. McLeod a couple of goals. Darren Jarman robs it, then straightens the body, gets to Andrew, couldn't take the mark. At the back, Tanner, who's done a good job. Crow fans wanting a holding the ball decision. It's going to be a bounce.
This last 10 minutes is absolutely critical in the state of the game. If the Crows could basically win the game, if they can get another 3 or 4 goals sort of towards the end of this quarter, Geelong really have to work really hard to hold on and make sure this margin isn't increased before the end of the quarter.
It's an excellent tackle by McLeod. Pickering's handball, McGrath, a little kick away. Hocking couldn't quite, it was a tough one. Pickering went off the ground. Bickley had a miss and a free kick to Hall. It was just come on. Rashido not happy with it. Hall out wide to Pickering. Pickering, little one out wide again to Scholl. Scholl's high ball to half forward. Brown the target. Well done by Ellen to get back. Bond then tackled. That tackle by Burns. Now Stonen. Chalmers with him, back to Hocking. Hocking gets it back from the boundary line inside. Simpson looked in a reasonable position in the end. Colbert did well to keep the ball in play. Riccardi tries a little handball out of bounds. Forward pocket, right forward pocket, Geelong attacking. They need a goal or two before half-time, just to tighten things up. They trail 5-3 to 9-4. Riccardi going forward, right into the goal square. Barnes, Rashido. Gives Hart and Riccardi a long run. It's doubtful they'll reach it before it runs out of play. It's out of bounds. Half-back flank. Crows 58, Geelong 33.
It's a magnificent kick to touch, wasn't it, by Mark Rashido? The ball just bouncing in on end away from the players. And for the safety of the line, the boundary umpire throws it in. Barnes takes it out of the air, tries to get it to Gary Hocking. In turn, McKinnon, beautifully tackled. That should be rewarded. The advantage is with the Adelaide side. Darren Jarman's left foot kick covers about 55 metres into the pocket. Andrew Jarman falls over, and the ball is spilled over the line for a boundary throw-in. Andrew Jarman maybe try to con the umpire into a free kick, but that won't happen. It'll be thrown in 50 metres from the Crows' goal. Adelaide 9-4, lead Geelong 5-3. Beautiful ruck work. Rashido, left foot snap. Pittman was the ruckman, but Rashido missed and threw for one behind. Gee, a ruckman palming the ball like that can certainly make the Crummers' job just that little bit more simple.
Notice all the Geelong players are playing for the long kick again, and against the Brews, this is really going to be a dangerous situation.
Graham kicks in the Barnes direction. The ball knocked away. Barnes providing the shepherd. Colbert not able to get there. Liptak was. Pickman constructively. Matthew Robin back to Liptak. Shrugs the tackle from McGrath. Gets the hand pass in the direction of Jamison. Was he held and didn't have the football? Not according to the umpire. But on this occasion, he does blow his whistle and indicates a ball up will take place 50 metres from Adelaide's goal. And with 4 minutes left, they hold a fairly handy advantage. It is 26 points. And Geelong, a real struggle if they're to win this game. Liptak, kick floating, into the square. Wren, tall. Couldn't quite break the tackle there of Ben Graham. That hand pass, nearly for Mansfield. Gathered again by McLeod. For Edwards. Edwards, snapshot. This is pretty close. It's a goal. Tyson Edwards kicks his first goal after coming off the interchange bench about 10 minutes ago. Adelaide lead 10-5 to 5-3.
And Edwards did the finishing, but again it was the speed of McLeod who was really troubling Mansfield, who set it up. Good hand pass, good kick, laid the ball across his boot, getting right away at the moment, the Crows.
And Wren in trouble here. It looks like he's going to come off the ground. It's 10-5, 5-3, free kick coming back, going to McKinnon. Now, Wren is coming off the ground in the background. I think the stretch has come out. He's going to have to be assisted from the arena. He hurt his leg, and we've all got our fingers crossed that it's not a knee injury. In this last incident, Lee, when he went for the mark, he turned there, and you can see him grimacing there in a lot of pain.
Hard to tell whether it's a sort of knee or ankle, but whatever it was, he's twisted something a little.
So he's coming off the ground. He wanted to walk off, but the stretcher did come out early.
I think it's his knee. You can see it just twist as he goes to the left. And watch it there, that left leg.
It was in this very same round last year against St Kilda that he suffered his shocking injury that kept him out of the rest of the 1995 season. So everybody in South Australia will be having their fingers crossed he gets off the support and moving towards the interchange bench. Nick Petch has come on the ground. Meanwhile, McKinnon goes to half forward. Geelong trailing now by over 5 goals. It's a free kick to the Cats, to Mansfield. He's gone forward. As Lee said, he was having some problems with McLeod. He's going to give it back to Mensch. Mensch, high ball. Barnes the target, went very early. Off hands, Burns, clever. Handball misses. Brown was behind him. Brown had to tap it back. Jamison, high tackle, gets a free kick. So the Cats struggling with about 3 minutes to go before half-time. Jamison, centre wing. Good kick, wasn't it, to Bond? Andrew Jarman short if he wants him. He's going to just pop it over to Bickley, who's had 11 kicks. This will be number 12. He goes to the forward pocket. Graham and Caven. Caven now at full forward with Wren off the ground. Can just a little one, good one to Edwards. Edwards, a bounce, straightens up, goes for it. Looks like he's got another one. He has. He's got Andy off the interchange from McGuinness.
What about the sneaky little bit of play by Peter Caven?
Yes, it was an excellent handball. I mean, again, I've been mentioning earlier that Geelong have the custom, the way they play. They all push forward into their half-forward line. They're on-ballers. And quite often the Crows' half-back line is taking possession and basically leaving the completely open forward line. And the scoreboard really is making Geelong pay.
Well, it's now gone out to a 38-point advantage. They may even get another one here with 2.5 minutes left. The ball rebounds fortuitously for Geelong to Hall. He gets the hand pass to Gary Hocking. Colbert bumped off the football when the ball may not have been within 5 metres. And a little push, but, well, I guess it was a questionable decision, but there's been a few of those. Short kick by Colbert in the Barnes direction. It's going to break down Bond and Burns. Bickley again. McKinnon tackles. Did he have the football? No. The umpire lets play go on. Rashudo gets it to Bond. Bond goes down towards the wing. Marking contest. Ball spills for Liptak. Keeps his eye on the football. Tackled by Gary Hocking. Matthew Robran. Brilliant evasive work there by Edwards. He's kicked 2 goals. And again, terrific stuff to get past Scholl. Goes towards goal. And the kick is effective. The mark is taken by Peter Caven. I say that in that tone because I don't think he's ever played a game like this. 5 marks, 3 kicks, 5 hand passes. And he's going to shoot for goal. He's kicked 1, and he's kicking from about 40 metres. Caven, Fitzroy, Swans, and now the Crows. Just pushes the kick away to the left and through for his second behind. 1 goal, 2 in that scoreline for Adelaide.
It's been an exciting last 5 minutes by Tyson Edwards, certainly on the wing in front of the camera here. Beautiful sidestep, completely sold the dummy to the Geelong player, and enormous balance. Tyson Edwards, a very impressive player, only in his second, third year of league football.
Graham, again long, ball holding up a bit. Barnes and Colbert the target. Pittman was in the front. On the ground, McKinnon has been caught a couple of times in this quarter. McGrath tries to barge his way through. Rashudo. Hocking just pushes it out in the Barnes direction. Cleverly back to Colbert. Colbert to Burns. Enjoying this contest between Burns and Bond. Both extremely well balanced and quick. Touch players. Little one. Riccardi. Trying to set it up. Not a lot of time for the Cats. They need a late goal to give them some momentum before half-time. Oh, beautiful fly and mark by Stoneham. It's one of the most encouraging things to happen in this opening half for Geelong. Siren goes for half-time. It's 11-6-5-3. Stoneham, who's just taken an excellent mark from the side, has kicked a goal. He snuck one through the opening term. He is a very good kick, Barry Stoneham. Tucked away in the pocket, and he must have heard me. Paul buzzer. That's not good. And not the sort of thing you want to happen at half-time when you're walking from the ground. At half-time, Adelaide are 11-6 and Geelong 5-3.
He had a very good burst where he kicked 3 goals in 10 minutes, and he's surprising a lot of people over here because when you come from 2 clubs, you're normally an average player, but he's proving a bit better than that.
Started the second half 11-6 to 5-3. Adelaide going into the breeze, so this is absolutely imperative that Geelong in this term get a real run on and make heavy inroads. Darren Jarman to Bickley, they're the 2 big kick getters in the opening half. Costa back to Bickley, keeps it low towards the pocket, and Sanderson chipping in. Nice mark to Graham. To Scholl, took too long, caught, run down. The pace of Edwards was a problem. Pickering, Campbell found a smart. Lynch to centre wing. Burns, it's paid. Just in front of Bond. Kicked 10 goals in the second quarter against St Kilda last week and 10 goals in the final quarter against Melbourne. This is Geelong in their first 2 games. You'd think they'd need a 10-goal quarter here to have a chance of winning. Chalmers to Smart, away. It's going to have to wait for it to sit again. It does, makes it. Second bounce, then runs his full measure, kicks to half-forward. Jarman the target. Good take by Jarman. This is Andrew at about 55 metres. He's got Pittman going now. Decides to go short to Edwards, who was very good when he came on for McGuinness in the second quarter. Kicked a couple of goals. He goes to the pocket looking for Pittman. Didn't quite make it smart. But not a bad result for Adelaide. Right up against the behind post in their forward line. Into the breeze, 39 points in front. It adds up to something very, very strong from Adelaide's point of view.
Free kick out of the ruck contest, and it may go to Adelaide by the look of it. Shepherding, the umpire is indicating, and it will go to their big ruckman, Pittman. So again, a Very soft free kick. We'll have another look. Mensch. Now, really, what are you supposed to do in the ruck?
Well, you're not allowed to shepherd. I mean, I don't know whether that was a shepherd, but that's how the umpires do it. That David Mensch, the shorter ruckman, wanted to push his body into David Pittman rather than actually just make the ball his complete objective. And that's what this ruck infringement is supposed to be all about.
And Pittman gets the goal. So first goal in the second half to Adelaide. They lead 12-6 to 5-3.
Well, that was, of course, was exactly the goal that Geelong did not need, really. I mean, they were already up against it. And again, you see Mensch pushing his body in. I mean, really, it is a fairly soft interpretation, but that I think is what this new ruck rule of making both ruckmen reach for the ball their prime objective.
I tell you what, they can go and recruit 6'15" basketballers if that's what they're going to ask the ruckman to do. Lip tack, Bickley. Bickley kicks it forward. Bouncing in a free zone at half forward. Gathered by Lynch. Gets rid of it quickly. Back towards the wing. No mark taken by Pickering. He's well tackled by Liptak. Ball spills to Brewer. Now Mensch. McGrath under a little bit of pressure. He kicks it high in the air to half forward. Burns goes after it again. Good interception there by Bickley. And it's held up between wing and right half forward for Geelong. Probably 2 kicks from their goal. Certainly more than 1 kick going to the right-hand end. Favoured by the breeze in this third quarter. And they trail by over 7 goals. Chance for Pittman. Couldn't quite control.
It's Chris McDermott. So the 2 Macs on the interchange, McDermott and McGuinness. Bickley gets it forward. And Lynch runs it out with McLeod.
We've had the interesting situation. Darren Jarman has basically been playing off halfback, but because John Barnes is now in the forward line, Matthew Robran has had to come down to sort of match him up for height, and Darren Jarman has now gone into the Crows half forward line.
Lip tack. Gathered by Pickering. McKinnon to Hocking. Cut off cleverly by Darren Jarman. Keeping it in the area with Jamison. And again a bounce.
Close checking and interceptions, just touching those hand passes is becoming quite frustrating for Geelong.
And so's the night in general, isn't it, Robbo? 78 to 33, nothing happening for the Cats. Throw against Pittman.
It's amazing how your confidence can be sapped too.
They kick 27 and 26 goals in the opening couple of matches, but they've struggled in the past at Football Park. Yet to win here. Burns and Bond. Which way is this interpreted? Bond in the front spot. Burns saying, well, he had my arm and wrapped it round, but it's a difficult one. So Bond takes it. High ball. Still at centre wing. Pittman front spot. At the back, Sanderson. Rashudo roved it well. Clever to Hart. Andrew Jarman then goes back to full forward. Wants it over the top. Works his way towards the front. With him, Ben Graham. Out of play. Left forward pocket. McDermott on for the Crows. Chalmers coming off with a bit of a limp. Adelaide down to 20. Sean Wren definitely not coming back, and let's hope that he hasn't got a serious injury. Jarman Darren winning the throw-in, but Pesh, I know people get there. Neil, anything on Wren or Chalmers?
Yeah, not.
What's on with Wren, mate? You there, Curls? Might have lost Neil for the moment. 12-7, 5-3. But we'll get him back. Ben Graham to kick it in. Goes wide and long. Big fly from Hall. Smart was at the back. Rove well by Pesh. Jamison, he'll enjoy this situation from 45 metres to behind. Adelaide right on top now. 12-8 to 5-3.
I think what Adelaide are doing is realising that Ben Graham kicks the ball like 10 metres forward, further than the average fullback. They're pulling their zone right back, so even when he kicks it long, they've still got the ball and are able to move into it. And really, the Geelong kick-ins have been very ineffective.
Well, this time it's short to Scholl. Scholl a little undecided, then goes wide, out towards the half-back area. No mark to Colbert. Tanner, McGrath. Geez, team tackled there. Edwards gets the crumbs. Kick a little too high there for Andrew Jarman. Very, very fickle bounce. Pesh to Andrew Jarman. Back in the path of Liptak. Little too severe for Edwards. Liptak gets it back. Was that tackle high? And the umpire is going to award a free kick to Matthew Liptak, but he looks a little ordinary. The Crows player's not happy. So Liptak has got the free kick, but he doesn't look too good in the hands of the trainer there. And the umpire speaking to Tim McGrath, as McDermott has plenty to say to Tim McGrath. And I think they're... Oh, there's a dust up away from the footy. A real go at it there. Andrew Jarman is on the bottom. And players coming from everywhere. So a lot of emotion now in this game.
Well, there's certainly more than 4 players looking angry at each other. That's, I think, what the Adelaide rule's all about.
And because of Matthew Liptak's situation being attended to by 4 or 5 trainers, there he is there, the doctor, and 3 or 4, 5 of the training staff. So you would think that they could take him off the ground. Have another look at this. And very heavy bump affected by Tim McGrath to the head region of Matthew Liptak, and surely he'll be taken off on the stretcher and looked at a little closely on the boundary line. The more you think that there were no elbows or heavy shoulders. It was just a good front-on challenge by Tim McGrath.
Well, I think the arm was tucked in, I think. I mean, from my look at that replay, certainly the contact might have been made with the arm, but it was tucked into his body, I think, looking at that replay just once or twice.
Both Tanner and Colbert have come off the ground for Geelong and used the interchange bench. Now, Curls, I think your mic's back. Neil Curley.
Yes, we've got a fair bit of report down here at the moment. The 2 Geelong boys are off with blood rules from the face and eye. Renz is not good. That was the early report I was after. It's not good news there, unfortunately, but of course at this stage it's too early. Chalmers has done an ankle, so he's doubtful. Liptak's unconscious, so I don't know if he'll come back. The 2 Geelong boys off, one with a cut eye, one with a split chin. Apart, I think that's about all.
Thanks, Curls. So Liptak coming off the ground, McGuinness coming on. So at the moment the Crows down to 18.
Neil, could you get a reasonable look at that bump then?
No, it was over the other side, but the way the Crows players reacted, I'd say it may have just been bent the rules a bit.
Well, we're watching a fairly slow-mo replay of it a couple of times here, and it was a very, very severe bump by Tim McGrath. And Liptak now off the ground. So play can continue as we see Matthew Liptak being taken to the duck by Bickley for distance. It swings back with the breeze. It's a goal for Adelaide. Mark Bickley kicks his second goal. And plenty of happy Crows supporters and particularly their players, because that's the way to ram home the advantage. Kick a goal from the free kick, exactly what Mark Bickley did.
It'll be interesting to see what happens as play continues here. I think they're very hot blood amongst both teams at this point.
So back in the centre, 13-8 to 5-3. Be a hot footy for a while, you'd think. Free kick against Pittman.
There's some nervous free kicks here paid fairly quickly, I think,
yes.
by the umpire.
Just might ease the tension quickly. Minch out of the centre, goes to half forward, Hawley's target, smart at the back. Oh, gee, Graham, just hip and shoulder on Rashudo. Rashudo tries to barge through, Hocking in strongly. Oh.
A willing affair in there.
So bounce again with a Pittman. In Minch, Pittman at the back. Hocking, Minch gets a handball out. McGrath Under pressure, gets a quick kick away. Ben Hart after it. Tries to get to the bounce, couldn't quite. Riccardi with him. Riccardi and Hart. Well played by Hart, brilliantly trapped. That's great football. Stops now and delivers to Jamison. It had to be pinpoint accurate, and it was. Jamison away to Caven, to centre wing. Pittman flew early. Minch affects the ball out of play. Well, plenty of feeling here, but the reality is that the Crows have got a huge lead. Robert Shaw, 13-8 to 5-3.
Simpson and Darren Jarman having a dust up, and I think a free kick is going to be awarded there as a result of that. It's going to Geelong, Bruce. Darren Jarman is in the middle of the action, away from the football. One of the other umpires having a chat to him, and that kick has been marked by Peter Caven, playing the game of his life. Gets the hand pass to Nigel Smart. He can bounce it a third time. Runs close to half forward, then a little kick is okay. Gives it off to Edwards. Edwards in towards full forward. Third player in line was Darren Jarman. Simpson, buffed by Pittman. Oh, down goes Sanderson. Tackled severely by Darren Jarman. And he's got to be a little bit careful that he doesn't do anything that could be deemed as untoward, Darren Jarman, because he's very much on fire. Short kick has been marked by Pickering. Is it right half back? Plays on, goes short. Stoneham is marked. Close to the wing. Kicks towards half forward. 1-on-3. Ben Hart over the back. Brilliant recovery. Hits the ground running. And then kicks towards half forward. Knocked away in the finish there by Sanderson. Pickering it was, not being deemed as making any attempt there to keep it in the field of play. So the free kick will go to Adelaide to be taken by McGuinness. McGuinness on centre wing. No one moving further afield, so he's forced to kick high towards the 50-metre line. No mark taken. Sanderson tackled by Pesh. The umpire will call for a bounce. About 65 metres from the Crows' goal. A lot of action at the start of the third term. Matthew Liptak taken off the ground on a stretcher. Heavy bump provided by Tim McGrath. Jamison, McDermott, Pesh. Oh, brilliant football by the Crows. Edwards goes in and misses. 2 goals, 1 to Tyson Edwards.
Great acceleration and power, Edwards, when he takes off, and he and McLeod really have their ground level speed in that forward part of the ground has really keeps the pressure on Geelong, even when Geelong is in possession. They've got the speed to run and put the pressure on and tackle.
So look at the Cats, their last score, 18 minutes into their second quarter. And we've been going about 15 in this third term, a lot of it time on, admittedly. Sanderson at half-back, started his career at this club and then played under Lee for a while at Collingwood, and now at Geelong. Good take by Stoneham. Important that he can run into a bit of form here. The game may be lost, but Barnes giving it away. But Stoneham's going to be an absolute key when we move on in this season. Hart having a very good match. So is Pickley. This will be his 17th kick when he goes away. He was a great player for Adelaide in '93, and things were really happening. McLeod was a bit too slick for Mansfield in the first half.
He's only had 8 possessions. It's amazing, isn't it? He looks as though he's had a lot more.
Kicked a couple and gave one away. Goals. So McGuinness, McDermott went to ground. And again, it's going to be a bounce. But Adelaide 13-9 and Geelong 5-3. Geelong with the breeze behind them, but unable to score at all here in this term. Mensch runs away on his left foot. McKinnon worked underneath it. Smart, who's been impassable most of the night, to Robran. They're playing with a lot of confidence. Back to Smart. Back to Robran. Gone. Allowed to go on. Maybe the advantage. Given to Hall. Hall to Mensch. Mensch goes long. He's got Barnes all on his own.
Just bombs away, but luckily for Geelong, Barnes on his own. Handball. Very well done. Gets it to Brewer, and Geelong get a badly needed goal.
McDermott, sorry, Robbo. McDermott's coming off for the blood rule, so I'm not sure whether Adelaide will be able to replace him. They look like they're down to 18. Chalmers has an ankle injury. Wren looks as if he could have another, well, a serious
I'm not
knee
exactly
injury.
sure what they do here, Bruce, because from the blood rule, you've got to be replaced.
And
if you've got no one to replace you, I'm not sure what happens.
Well, Liptak won't come back, that's for sure. Wren's not going to come back, and they're going to have to play with 17 by the look of it for the moment until they can patch him up.
Well, the umpire's worked it out. He's just got on with the game, and Geelong get the free kick from the centre bounce, taken by Minch. He's kicked towards the forward pocket area. Nearly gathered by Allen. Robin gets it to Bond. Bond playing in defence on Ronnie Burns. That kick falls short, and it's been marked by Ben Graham. So Geelong throwing their team around a fair bit. Ben Graham's hook kick in towards the forward pocket. It's gathered by Burns. He goes in and gets a goal for the Cats.
The Cats still a long way back, but a couple of goals in a couple of minutes. 13-9 to 7-3. Pickering in hard. Well done, Costa from the centre for Adelaide. To half forward. Brown, who kicked the opening goal of the match for Geelong. Jarman's tackle on him. Ball comes to ground. Edwards with that balance and pace to McGuinness. McGuinness chips away. Doesn't find its target. Pesh is there and forced over the line. Lynch, gee, that looked hard.
This guy's going overboard with that.
So Pesh to get the free kick in the pocket. Really didn't have anywhere else to go there, Lynch. Pesh across the face. Andrew Jarman takes the mark and then just pushes it out and finds McGuinness. There's a bit of a rumour when we came to the ground tonight that McGuinness wouldn't play. It was on Adelaide radio, but he was there when they started. Came off the ground reasonably early in the match, replaced by Edwards, and now forced to come back on. Kicked a goal in the second quarter. And really should make it a second here from about 25-30 metres out. And he hasn't. It's a behind to McGuinness. So Adelaide up to 13-10. Geelong 7-3.
See, players have got interesting styles, haven't they? McGuinness didn't take his eye off the goal. Really didn't watch what he was doing at all. Just watching his target. Ben Graham kicks it to himself and then kicks the ball into the middle of the ground. Mansfield gathers it. Gary Hockey to Hall. Hall really should capitalise here. And he has missed from 30 metres out directly in front. And Geelong really could have done with that one.
And that was what they were trying to do on Ben Graham's kick-ins, to get it long down the middle and let it keep it running on. And it's the first time for the game. I think it succeeded for Geelong.
Gee, the Crows have got a loose player here on centre wing. Rashudo. He's going to carry the football all the way to the forward line. 3 bounces, runs inside 50, balks the hand pass, goes for goal, hooks the kick across the face and scores a behind. 2 behinds to Mark Rashudo. 13-11 to 7-4. 43 points is the advantage. 8 minutes left in the third quarter.
Tan and Colbert both back on after going off with the blood rule, so Geelong able to patch them up. Jamison, Hocking, advantage given to Mansfield. Goes wide, looking for Brewer. Hart with him. This will be a good clash. Both highly skilled. Hart still with Brewer. Still Hart and Brewer. Great contest. Hart's had a very good match. It'll be the umpires in the end.
It was a great contest. Hart really had the presence of mind to be patient. He just knew that Brewer had the front position. He just had to make sure he didn't give away the free kick, and then eventually he was able to sight the ball around his body and get that right hand onto it to draw a ball up.
Stoneham with the left hand got a bit of a palm away. Back to Mansfield. Tries the sidestep, which he's normally very, very effective with. McDermott is back on. It's going to be a free kick. It might be, is it a free kick, Robbo, or a ball up?
Ball up. Chris McDermott did some terrific work to get the ball and then clear the pack.
Pittman, Colbert and Stoneham. Bickley, another possession. to centre wing. Front spot, Jamison on his chest in the end. Gives it off quickly. Rashudo having a big match. Also getting it off quickly. McLeod, clever. He's got a real touch of class at times. That's a good kick. It's a great kick if it sits. Jarman can't quite get there, but good vision by McLeod. Out of play arms, right forward pocket. 89-46. Mention the front spot. Pittman at the back. Darren Jarman. Just felt for that one. He was hoping that he'd get it in the back against Simpson. But a bounce.
Darren Jarman, exciting player. 14 kicks, 4 hand passes. He's kicked 1 goal. Pittman gets rid of his opposition and then bashes it towards goal, but trundles over for a throw-in. Right forward pocket, Robert Shaw down on the boundary line. Well, he's got some concerns because 3 of his players are injured on the bench. Pittman, left foot snap by Pittman. Offline. Another behind to Adelaide. 6 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Mentioning that Robert Shaw with some concerns. Wren injured, Chalmers injured, Liptak taken off on a stretcher. This is Lynch for Geelong. Kicks in towards the middle of the ground, and the mark is taken by Mansfield. He plays on quickly. Gets it in the direction of Hall, who has marked. He's between centre and centre half forward. Looking to play on. Gives the hand pass to Mensch. Mensch an ordinary hand pass to McGrath. McGrath's short kick wide of its target. Under pressure there, Caven. In goes Costa. Tackled by Burns. Gets the handball back to Bond. Bond for Adelaide. Hand pass not bad, Pesh. Then Robert. Andrew Jarman, 50 metres from the Geelong goal. McDermott back to Andrew Jarman. Familiar combination in the middle of the ground for the Crows. That hand pass intercepted. Sanderson has the football underneath Matthew Robber, and the umpire will call for a bounce.
I think Andrew Jarman was ready to kick the ball, but there was no one to kick it to, so he had to overplay it, and eventually the ball was taken off him.
Pittman winning it clearly that time, but giving a free kick away to Mensch. McGrath on the end of it. Can go short and wide, but it's very wide and indirect to Tanner. Jarman just gets rid of him and gets away. Darren Jarman with a couple of bounces in the 3rd at centre wing. Centering ball's a beauty to McGuinness. It's a great kick. His vision's always excellent. And then McGuinness in short to Bickley. He's right back in tip-top form, Mark Bickley. 18 kicks, 3 handballs, a couple of goals. One I think that the club really enjoyed in this 3rd quarter.
It's an excellent sign for the Crows in '93 when they made the preliminary final. Mark Bickley is basically a tagging on ball who at that point was really a very significant part of their team. So they'd be very pleased to have him back if looking fit and in form.
45 metres out. Good kick again by Bickley. He's never been a big goal kicker, but that's handy, isn't it? 3 with all those possessions, and Adelaide closing it out here, 14-12 to 7-4.
Darren Jarman has really had Grant Tanner for his opponent this later part of the quarter, and just basically outplayed him on the outer wing there. Really, the Crows were in control in most positions on the field, and Geelong had just struggled to get the ball forward at all.
Well, their 14th goal, Adelaide, set up by Darren Jarman's kick for McGuinness. This is Rashudo. His kick to half forward. Sanderson gets away for Geelong from half back, kicks back towards half forward. A real severe attack on the football there by Bond, was it? Pesh. Now Allen from the wing, kicks towards half forward. McLeod to McGuinness, back onto his favoured left foot, close to the line, gets it back to McLeod. McLeod's kick to the goal front. Costa, good mark. And Robert Shaw's pretty excited there. His numbers are down, but the team is showing tremendous spirit. As we have another look at Kim Costa. He'll kick from 15 metres. Oh, geez, let himself down badly. Missed by a long way.
That was an interesting play. I don't know quite why, but even though they're well in front, the Crows have dropped a couple of loose players back in defence, and in that situation there was probably 2 or 3 loose Geelong players, but nevertheless Costa was outnumbered probably 1 to 3, but was able to take the mark. Probably indicative of the way the match has gone for Geelong all night.
And Riccardi off for the Cats. Sanderson wide to Lynch. Simpson, who had the job on Darren Jarman in the opening half, gets it up to about 50. Here's Pesh, who started that attack by Adelaide earlier. Darren Jarman, so neat, rarely wastes it to Rashuto.
No one to kick to, Bruce. I don't know why this happened. The Crows have dropped 2 or 3 loose players back, and Geelong are outnumbering the Crows forwards, probably about 6 players to 3.
Pittman his target. Barnes at the back, had a good go at it. Kicked by Colbert, back to centre wing. Brewer was an awkward one for him, and he might get a free kick in the back here. So Brewer at about to 85 metres. Stoneham wanting it long. Brewer goes that way now. Stoneham and Jamison. And a free kick to Barry Stoneham for hanging on against Rodney Jamison.
Free kicks at 28 to Geelong, 19 to Adelaide.
A handful of Guernsey, and the umpire spotted it. Might be minor, but if you hang on to the Guernsey, the umpire sees it, he's going to pay the free kick.
Well, he had a slow start, didn't he, Stoneham, when he came on against Melbourne? Got a couple more touches against the Saints. And now starting to gather a bit of form, you feel.
Blokes in defence.
Adelaide lead 14-13 to 8-4. Miserable scoreline for Geelong. Over 25 goals in their first 2 games. McDermott, left foot kick towards half forward. McLeod beaten for it by Lynch, chipping in McDermott again. McGuinness quickly onto his right foot. Just trying to force it forward, maybe to catch that Geelong half back line. A little bit unawares. Mansfield's kick has been marked by Colbert. McDermott minding the mark diligently as Colbert settles. Just over a minute left in the 3rd quarter. The kick in towards half forward. Oh, good, solid mark in the finish taken by Sanderson. He knew he was going to be confronted, but he stood there and eventually took the mark. Kicks it wide. Scholl has run all the way down from the full-back line, and he's marked at between right half forward and centre half forward. The kick into the pocket. Stoneham was up high, but it's punched away over for a boundary throw-in. So that miserly Crows defence restricting Geelong at this stage. The Cats have managed just 8 goals for, and on the other hand, Adelaide 14-13. So a convincing lead the Crows will go into the last term with, and they'll have the breeze at their back. So it looks like it could be a big victory for Adelaide. Friday night football from Football Park.
I just saw Liptak a moment ago conversing with Robert Shaw, so that's a good sign for Adelaide. Brewer in there with Ben Hart. Brewer's kicked a couple of goals. Ben Hart's been excellent, 12 kicks. As Liptak came off on a stretcher early in this quarter. I think both Couch and Riccardi will be on the interchange for Geelong, which is rather ironic considering their form earlier this year.
Got an interesting situation. Andrew Jarman and his opponent Grant Tanner are the only players forward of centre for the Crows. We just got a whole heap of players blocking up this forward 50 for Geelong. Actually, if I didn't look at the scoreboard, I would think the scores were something like level, and the Crows are trying to hold on late in the quarter.
Yes, nobody else. There they are, Jarman and Tanner, and there's no one within 30 metres even of the centre. The other 34 players are all within about 70 metres of the Geelong goal. So Adelaide giving nothing away. Stoneham. And
if they thought Geelong were going to kick a burst of 6 goals in the last 5 minutes, I suppose they prevented that, but that never looked likely. The way the game was going, the Crows were doing all the scoring.
And they've been able to do the job there, Lee. It was a 3-goal quarter to both teams, and Adelaide has maintained its advantage. Got 3-7 on term, 14-13, 8-4. Adelaide to the right of screen. Looks like Gary Hocking might be on the interchange bench for Geelong. So Paul Couch has been there for a lot of the night. Riccardi went there in the 3rd quarter. Bickley out of the centre to half forward. Tanner, Lynch, Andrew Jarman put the tackle on. Darren Jarman, Rashudo can straighten up. Touched by Tanner off the boot. And it's a behind. 14-14 to 8-4. Rashudo gathering a lot of possessions. He's had 11 kicks and 9 handballs. Look at that. Riccardi and G. Hocking with Brown in between them. So some of the great players for Geelong over the years and in the early rounds have been sitting it out tonight. Just nothing much has happened right for them. Pittman, Rashudo, high tackle. He'll get a free kick. Pickering dropped it, and he's going to get 50 against him. Into the slip. And was he going to give it up?
I think it might have slipped out of his hands, but in those circumstances, the umpires tend to see the ball on the ground and think it was probably let go.
So Rashudo comes from 80 metres from goal up to 30.
Rubs salt into the wound, doesn't it? Especially if he kicks a goal.
They got one early, didn't they, with Sanderson? The Crows, and they kicked a goal after getting a 50-metre penalty. And Rashudo has done it. He gets his first for the night. Adelaide get their 15th. 15-14 to 8-4. So they've gone into this game, Lee, with a really healthy percentage, and they're building on it again.
Yes, they are. Really, absolutely nothing's gone right for Geelong. Two goals from 50-metre penalties, and they're really a great annoyance to give goals away like that. And a couple of free kicks that went different directions early in the game. It's just been a bad night all round.
Mark Rashudo kicks Adelaide's 15th goal. They lead 104 to 52. And Geelong heading for a thrashing by their standards. Convincing wins in the first 2 games against Melbourne and St Kilda. And they'll come thudding back to earth here at Football Park. Barnes in front. Able to take it away was Cole, but the umpire has found a free kick, and it'll go to Bickley. He's had 3 possessions already at the start of the last quarter.
I think we mentioned why Gary Hocking was benched, because his direct opponent is Mark Bickley, who has been just a dominating player for the Crows, and I suspect that is why Gary Hocking hasn't been too bad a player in his own right, but I think that's why he's been interchanged maybe as an example. You've got to make sure you win your contest.
Bickley 24 possessions. Geelong struggling to get clear from half-back. Mansfield, little tap on by Rashudo. Looked there for Allen. He wasn't able to gather the football successfully. And the umpire will bounce 50 metres from goal. Adelaide 15-14 to 8-4. So 52 points, exactly double Geelong's score so far. And we've still got 18 minutes left. Couch, just his 7th possession. Lynch. Oh, terrific interception provided by Bickley. The ball's still in. Gets another possession to McDermott. McDermott in towards the forward pocket area. Gatherers by Caven. Kick across his right shoulder, not too bad, and an excellent mark. He's a very clever player, Darren Jarman. And the fans pretty happy with that performance. But what about Bickley back here close to the wing?
He was good. I just was about to make the comment, really, that it's been very hard to mark the ball in this distance, 25, 30 metres out for goal. Most of the goals have tended to come from sort of ground-level pickups or flowing balls through half-forward. There hasn't been too many marks taken 20 metres out from goal, as Darren Jarman did just then. And that's been the medium size, it's not the big one.
And straightforwardly, he kicks the goal. Darren Jarman kicks his 2nd goal with his 17th kick, 22 possessions, 2 goals, and he's been one of the Crows' better players all night.
Well, 30 scoring shots to 12, but really that's more indicative of the game. I mean, they've just dominated the Crows, and really, if they just keep the pressure down, they'll just go right away with it and lead us by a really big margin.
110 to 52. Darren Jarman with a couple of goals. Bickley high in Adelaide's best players tonight to Bond. Good stretch by him to half forward, but a bit ill-directed. Lynch takes the mark. A nothing kick from Bond. Chance for Ellen to intercept and spoil McGrath. McGrath runs away, gets his handball under pressure. Caven, a bit slow to get the handball away there, Caven, and Pink for holding the footy. Had a couple of Crows players inside.
Bit slow to try and affect that block turn too.
It was slow motion all round, wasn't it? Mansfield, Couchy.
Do you call that flirting with form, maybe?
With Caven?
Yes.
I'm not sure if it's flirting with form or...
Well, he has played pretty well,
he's been
Bruce.
good.
I mean,
I
think for a player that has gone to his third club, I think there was a few questions asked about him, but I think his game's been pretty good tonight.
He's been holding his place in a winning team for 3 weeks, which is a good start. Sanderson, Bickley, Andrew Jarman have floated a full forward. Read well by McLeod, holding the footy. Ben Graham to Tanner in the centre. Handball to McKinnon, who's had a quiet match. Strides away to full forward. Mensch should get a free kick. No, thought Smart went early and also had the hand on the shoulder, but not paid. Edwards, who's been highly impressive. Neat kick to Pittman at half-back.
Pittman's been pretty good too, Bruce. Wren off the ground. Even when Wren was on, he was very effective with his ruck work. Oh, there's a solid collision. Geelong may get clear from half-back. McGrath tucked in. Knocked on there by Colbert, but only as far as Pittman. Handball to Shudo. Squares it away to Jamison. Jamison off his left foot. A high kick floating across the centre of the ground to the advantage of McKinnon. He's run down. Oh, no confidence there, and he's going to be penalised. Andrew Jarman getting the ball to Costa, and the Geelong player just stopping that passage. So the 50-metre penalty is affected against the Cats. We'll have another look at what that was all about. The free kick went to Costa against McKinnon. Andrew Jarman tried to get it back, and the Geelong player just knocking the ball away. So a 50-metre penalty puts Costa directly in front and only 20 metres out. And the Crows go marching on. It's another goal. (17-14). Plays 8-4.
And I think this part of the game, this tackling, I think the Crows tonight have just really tackled very well. They haven't allowed the Geelong players to get clear with the ball all over the field. They've always been under pressure, and when you put physical pressure on opposition, eventually they expect you there even when you're not, and they start hurrying themselves.
Look to come on, and McGuinness and Andrew Jarman both coming to the interchange, but now Andrew Jarman coming off.
You would suspect that Liptak wouldn't be put back on unless Jarman has got a little slight injury or something. Or was it something to do with the blood wheel or something?
It looked like he had a cut on his the top of his head, didn't it? On the scalp area.
Yeah.
It seems a bit of a risk, doesn't it, in Liptak's case, after having that heavy knock. 17-14 to 8-4. Mansfield from the centre. Chips away to full forward, looking for Barnes. Oh, good save. He hasn't had the best of nights, Barnesy. That's a clever mark.
And I think very notable, it's probably the first time in the entire evening that Nigel Smart's been outplayed. He's just been a rock of Gibraltar across that half-back line for the Crows.
Barnes has been brought around on the angle. He wants to argue the point. Riccardi coming on for Mansfield. And Barnes to shoot from 25 metres out directly in front, and he scores the goal.
Well, Mansfield, who came off the ground, and Riccardi has taken his place. Michael Mansfield is back onto the ground. McGuinness is off. Andrew Jarman is back on for Adelaide. The Crows get the ball to centre-half forward, crashing his way through Lynch, but well held up there by Pittman. And the umpire will bounce at centre-half forward for Adelaide. Just handful of possessions for Paul Lynch. He started on the bench. Pittman doing the ruck work. Free kick on this occasion is going in favour of the Crows' ruckman Pittman, and it's awarded against David Minch. So umpire was Minch, but the umpire deemed that as jumping into his opponent.
Well, I think his left arm probably has just basically hit Pittman across the head. But I must say, when there's these ruck free kicks, I look at the umpire, I've got little idea what's going to happen until the umpire points in one direction or the other.
Well, Pittman fancies his chances from 50 metres. With the breeze at his back, he sets it up. It carries all the way, but it's offline and through for a behind. 2 goals, 1 to David Pittman. Tony McGuinness having a spell. Might be a bit of a groin or just a bit of a corky above the knee, maybe. Adelaide Crows captain Ben Graham's kick in is effective. Has been taken by Mansfield.
It gives it off to Sanderson, to Lynch. Back to Sanderson at centre half back. Ball holding up in the wind. Good take by Derek Hall. Wide to Liam Pickering. Pickering to half forward. Burns and Bond. Clever mark, Burns. He's a likely type. Next to ex-West Perth and St Mary's in Darwin. To the goal square. Barnes held out of it. And the mark taken by Pittman. He's having an excellent match. So smart to Rashudo. Adelaide have had a lot of very good players tonight. Back to Smart. He's an exciting player, isn't he? Kick to Shane Allen. Nice take. Nigel Smart again. Provides so much rebound from the full-back and half-back line. Oh, Darren Jarman, brilliant on the crowd. Kicks his forward. Andrew McCall, the 19-year-old, with 3 goals. 18-15 to 9-4.
What sort of hands do you call those? I mean, there's such a thing as quick hands, but these are...
I think the hands were quicker than the eyes, and I'm not even sure if he hand passed it. Let's have a look in this replay here, whether his hands were just that quick or was a little throw. No, that was a little throw, but he got away with it, and that's all that counts, I suppose. I was about to say the hands were quicker than the eye, but it's not all the time.
Yeah, well done.
Pickering off, Hocking on, Lee. They just haven't been able to get to the midfield. I mean, when Pickering gets replaced by Hocking, and 18-15 to 9-4, by the way, and Couch has been on the interchange for so long.
Yeah, it's been indicative of their midfield, really has been beaten all night by the Crows.
Burns nearly took it with one hand, but not successful. It's locked in, and the umpire will bounce about 40 metres out from the Geelong goal.
Official attendance 43,766. That's better than any number for last year. Their best last year was 42,700, so they're going to be delighted with that. That's their best crowd for a couple of seasons.
Here's a chance for Geelong. Stoneham's kick across his body is good, and Stoneham's kicked the goal for the Cats. Pittman dispossessed. Riccardi tries to bash it forward. McDermott tries to back his way out of strife. Gary Hocking, but Andrew Jarman nearly got a kick away. He's opposite number 2, Lee Colbert, kicks it forward for Geelong. Robran, Stoneham providing the pressure there at half forward, gets it clear. Brewer, in turn to Burns, gets out of strife, then gets it back to Brewer. Brewer's shot for goal. The bounce very important here. Barnes, Hall, falls over. Smart keeps his footing and runs away. And Nigel Smart, to the delight of the Crows fans, kicks it close to the line. Riccardi, strong buff provided by Darren Jarman. He runs away from the contest, satisfied that he's forced the boundary throw in. And bang! Geelong have got the ball through Gary Hocking, wide to Couch. Couch kicks to full forward. Barnes in front, couldn't take the mark. Ball belted back towards the 50-metre line. Taken now by Colbert.
On his left, to the front of the square, Barnes goes early. Costa back there, and force through from behind.
I think we saw a contest on the far half-forward flank just earlier that was maybe just explains what's happened with Geelong tonight. It was basically a contest, and 3 of their players ran forward of the pack, hoping to get the ball forward, and but I think Brewer ended up with it. But they haven't won the contest often enough, and they've always been caught out of position.
Rusciuto got it to McDermott. McDermott went towards Caven, shoulder towards the boundary line, and out of play. So Adelaide left forward pocket.
Further to that point, I think that's one of the reasons that Geelong can be a really high-scoring team. But if they're not winning enough contests, they're going to get caught behind, because a lot of their players do tend to play forward the pack in an over-optimistic hope that the ball's going to come forward.
Now, maybe the blood rule again here. McDermott, he's already been off once for it. Coming from the ground. Oh, gee, yeah. Didn't see that earlier, but...
This may just be the greatest incentive for another play on interchange, because the blood rule comes into football so often these days that having that extra player on interchange just to give you that flexibility is probably warranted, given the you don't need much blood on you at all to be forced to leave the field. In fact, any blood when you're forced to leave the field.
So McDermott to be patched up, McGuinness back on, nowhere near fully fit. Had the ice on the thigh a moment or two ago. Mensch goes towards the line, lip tack. So about 10 minutes remaining, Adelaide well in front.
I have to ask the question, Bruce. I mean, Liptak, before his example play, carried off from the stretcher unconscious and back on the field half an hour later. I sometimes wonder about the medical advisability of all that, even though the doctors are there to protect the players' welfare.
Well, it's a real surprise, isn't it, from this position anyway, without knowing what's happened exactly, because he looked completely out of it. Mensch to Lynch. Lynch, not good. And was touched by Stoneham, out of play. So 3 goals to Barry Stoneham tonight, 3 out of the 10. Adelaide has shared it around. Nobody's kicked the bag. They've got a couple on 3, McLeod and Bickley. But they're well in front, 18-15 to 10-5.
Well, it's been a bit of a graveyard for a lot of teams. The football park, a lot of good sides have been over here and gone down badly. So I'm sure the Cats will be able to pick themselves up and get on with season 1996. Ordinary bounce. Andrew Jarman, now Stoneham, Tanner, Riccardi on his favoured left side. Kicks towards full forward, out in front of Barnes. It was a pretty ordinary kick when you consider that Riccardi was out in the open. Colbert taken to the ground. The umpire decides on a bounce.
I think we did see one of the vagaries of the national competition today. Geelong left Geelong in their bus at 1:45 and would have arrived in Adelaide about 5:30 Melbourne time. So a long trip, so it's not the ideal preparation to play 3 hours after you arrive.
Fair enough. Brewer, little hand pass to Tanner. Tanner runs to 50, gives it back to Brewer. Brewer off his left foot. Well, disappointing end there to perhaps what was Geelong's most promising build-up for the game. Certainly since the first quarter, they kicked 4 goals to Adelaide's 5 goals in the first term. And since then, the Cats have only managed 6. And the Crows, of course, have kicked 13 goals.
McGuinness off and McDermott back on for Adelaide. Hart straight down the centre towards Pittman. Bickley just wide of Andrew Jarman. Gathers it in to Smart, who's done this so often tonight. Run away. Does he get away? Got the handball in just in time to Rusciuto, who also takes on his man, then flings out a long left-hand handball. Jarman just trying to tap it in the direction of Bickley. Some of these players are getting pretty weary. Sanderson. Pittman went to ground, taken by Jamison to McDermott, to Jarman. He's got Liptak wide, finds him now. This will bring the joint down if he can kick the goal. Liptak, it'll come back, he'll get it. They'll love this. (19-15 to 10-6). Liptak with his first goal.
Well, if he had any vague dizziness or whatever he had has probably cleared his head now. He somehow found himself 50 metres on his own out on the forward flank, but got the breeze out to the ball out to the left of the breeze, brought it back. A well-judged kick.
129 to 66, so the Crows over 10 goals in front. As Bickley again out of the centre, drives it to full forward. Andrew Jarman with a very good chance here. His hands were excellent, and that time Liptak unable to. Into behind. 19-16, 10-6. So Adelaide's percentage will remain very high. Geelong will come back to the pack a bit after today, or tonight. Graham to bring her back in.
David Mensch providing the lead. Graham goes short in the direction of Simpson. He's taken the mark, gives the hand pass away. Gives a little telegraph. Sanderson to Riccardi. Riccardi goes down the wing. Mark is taken by Couch. Couch between left half back and centre wing. Just gets the kick in awkwardly to the feet of Mansfield. The bounce was awkward for that player. Gary Hocking crashed to the ground unfairly, says the umpire. Then gets on with it. To Couch, to Tanner, Riccardi. Little kick by Riccardi. Oh, just a bit too high there for Stoneham. Just had to stand there and wait. Off to Tanner, then Burns. Into the pocket, Brewer. Brewer's kicked to the front of the square. And well defended again by Nigel Smart. To Allen and back to Smart. Smart gathering quality possessions. Terrific mark taken there by Bickley, was it? Not paid. And a free kick against the Crows player. Mansfield takes it, kicks it towards half forward. Rebounds for Allen. Allen's kick. Stand and deliver type. Mark dropped by Liptak. I think that can Mansfield caught red-handed. And Liptak will take the free kick. He gets the hand pass further forward. Bickley, and he's not able to do much with the footy. Forced over by Michael Mansfield. Playing his 100th game tonight, Michael Mansfield, the Geelong banner, recognising that fact before the game. So a good effort there. Probably not a memorable night for Michael Mansfield.
He looks pretty sore, actually, poor old Mansfield at the moment, doesn't he? He really looks like he's carrying some injuries, some wounds from tonight.
Been a tough game, and the Crows have taken it right up to Geelong, right from the start. Riccardi squeezes the kick towards half forward.
McDermott, good bounce in the end to Jamison. It's been an excellent defence by the Crows. Goes over the top to Costa, to Pesh inside. He'll want to kick it now. He does. To full forward. Jarman could be on the end of it. He is. Quite the 14 return tonight, but Darren particularly has been outstanding, and Andrews done his bits and pieces and has an opportunity to kick his second. They both goaled in the opening term, the Jarmans, and Darren's got one in the final quarter. Can the symmetry continue? He's got it. I believe they've got 24 goals between them, the Jarmans, this season, so it's a reasonable number, isn't it, in the third game? They're averaging 8 goals a match between them. It's the high numbers.
Yeah, they're both that dangerous player forward of centre. The key position players haven't been able to mark, and any of the marking in the forward line has been done by the Jarmans and the medium-sized players of that nature.
Big advantage for the Crows, close to full time. Matthew Robran now doing the ruck work. Gary Hocking trying to force it clear. Look to try and get the hand pass to Couch. Colbert gets it to Riccardi. In turn, Tanner. Back to Mensch. Well, you're in trouble, Gary Hocking. Brilliantly tackled there by Edwards. And he went after it again. He's been rewarded. The advantage is with the Crows. Ben Hart. Little kick back towards the middle of the ground. Gatherers by Sanderson. Chopped off by McLeod. Back to Pesh. Pesh off his left foot. Towards full forward. Great hands, Darren Jarman. Out in front of his face. He's taken the mark in front of Simpson. Well within scoring distance. A chance for his third goal. Quality player, Darren Jarman. Big bonus for the Crows when he crossed over the summer from Hawthorn. He'll kick from about 35 metres. Slight angle, just has to judge the breeze. problem there. Good kick, goal. So the goal tally for the Jarman brothers mounting as the game gets close to full time. They've now kicked 5 between them.
An exceptional intercept again by Andrew McLeod, and really Jarman now gone into the forward line. Darren Jarman started on the half-back line and really created heaps for Adelaide early in the game, but now he's gone forward in the second half. He's got the 3 goals against his name as well.
Andrew Jarman with that little nick in his scalp, and no one to replace him, so the umpire just gets right on with it. Matthew Robin gets his right hand to it. Gary Hocking to Burns. Somehow gets the hand pass out the back to Colbert, then McKinnon. McKinnon's high kick towards half forward, nearly taken by Tanner, got rid of his opponent. Barnes tries to tap it on, but it's chopped off by Allen, and he kicks across the half-back line and finds the safety of the boundary line. We'll have a throw-in. Left half forward for Geelong, and Andrew Jarman comes back onto the ground. So it's becoming a bit farcical, that blood rule. Players just drifting on and off the ground. No interchange people there to control it, and plenty of players spending time on the bench, particularly in this last quarter.
76-point lead for Adelaide. And this has been the pattern so far in the competition in the first couple of rounds. McDermott chopped off by Couch to fall forward. Barnes at the back. Smart has been really excellent. One of the best games he's played. He's played some good ones. Costa had to go hard, and Mansfield, though, you know, both of them won't stop. Mansfield caught. He's in trouble, I think. Give him plenty of time. Everyone stopping, thinking there would be a decision, but Ben Graham able to kick it inside. Hocking started very well tonight, but struggled a bit in the second term, and Bickley seemed to get on top of the bench. Can Couch get a late goal? Kicks it to the goal square. Front spot Edwards. Barnes getting rid of him. Left foot step. And a goal. Is it? What's happening?
Barnes thinks it's a behind. It's been signalled a goal,
It
hasn't
was signalled a goal by the goal umpire. Is that a free kick to Smart, is it? That can't be a free kick to Smart now.
He's made the goal.
Yeah, it is a goal.
No, I think there's confusion reigning here. It is a goal, but the field umpire's not recognised it.
Yeah. It'll come back as a goal to Barnes. Back into the centre. Haven't seen that before, Lee, have you?
I've got a feeling it wasn't a goal, but the goal umpire, and I'll repeat my theory, when those close-in shots are fired from close in and the goal umpire's not sure, I think most of the time they will pay a goal and give the goal kicker the benefit of the doubt. But I think it's pretty obvious from the reaction of the players around that part of the ground that it looked like it went left of the goal post. Let's have a look and we'll see for ourselves.
So Barnes, the goal umpire's a long way away. He was caught out of position, and Barnes, he didn't seem to think it was going through at all. But it's registered as a second last quarter goal for John Barnes, and the 11th for Geelong, 11-6 to 21-16. A couple of things happened tonight that we've had no idea about.
I'm glad you raised your eyebrows, because I had no idea what was going on. Sanderson for Geelong. Kicks high out near the wing. Brilliant gather by Bond. Under 2 minutes left. And Geelong couldn't get off this ground quick enough, you would think. Mansfield grabbed a little high by lip tack, was he? And he will take the free kick. Right half back for Geelong.
I've never seen that before, where the goal umpires wave the flags and all the players on both sides are setting up for the kick-in.
Lucky there wasn't a point the difference, Robbo.
Yes, it certainly was. Bruce, the kick towards the wing. Stoneham just going a little early. Colbert trying to thread the hand pass in the Hocking direction, but Bond gets it to Bickley. Magnificent understanding with Pesh. Pesh has kicked to half forward, and the mark is taken by Scholl for Geelong. Goes across the ground. Player unattended out there is Couch. Able to kick back towards the centre of the ground. Simpson. Hand pass away. Couch again. His kick will hold up in the breeze and quite easily marked by Chris McDermott. Favourite son here in Adelaide, Chris McDermott. The ball wide. Pittman knocks it forward. The race is on now. Sanderson able to gather. Run down by Liptak in the back. Deems the umpire. So the free kick will be taken by Sanderson. Maybe a little high as well. Geelong get the ball close to their half-forward line. Stoneham to the back. The race is on between Edwards and Tanner. Handball off to Burns. Burns goes in and gets another goal for Geelong. So a couple of late goals. One questionable to John Barnes. That one kicked by Ronnie Burns.
You know, I think it is a very strong bruise here. Geelong have done reasonably well parts of this last quarter to get a few goals on the scoreboard, although it is obviously one-way traffic in context of the whole game. 37 scoring shots to 18 is a big margin.
And 64 points, the difference between the two. 21-16, 12-6. So the Crows with their third consecutive win. A really good start for Robert Shaw. They lost their first couple last year. Costa out of the centre, out wide, Lynch, Liptak, Lynch towards the boundary line, and there's a siren. So still Geelong hasn't won a match here at Football Park. Not the Crows' biggest win here. They had one win one night by 91 points, but they got it to 76 at one stage in the last quarter. But the final scores, Adelaide 21-16, Geelong 12-6.